I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. So much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But I think we're in great shape.
I don't know if America's in great shape. We got internal terrorist threats upon our own people. That's not good. It's not even other countries. It's the white Americans. The usual suspects.
Mama, I've been outside. Don't see me going in. Blue lights up in my mirror. Damn, here we go again.
Before this video starts, make sure you follow me on Instagram at TYPCam. What's good, y'all? We got breaking. Suspect in Charlie Kirk's shooting is in state custody. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Let's see what it's hitting for.
President Trump, in an appearance that is ongoing on another network, just said that there is now a suspect in custody for the Charlie Kirk assassination. We'll say that again. President Trump just now announcing that a suspect is in custody connected to the Charlie Kirk killing of a few days ago.
Trump says he believes Charlie Kirk. So this like the third suspect allegedly. I guess first they said it was the white man. That's what the internet, the media was saying. At least maybe there he might have done something or I don't know. And then they said they might have caught a second one. And then I guess they let him go or something. And now I guess this is the third person. Fourth, fifth, sixth. They saying the CIA, they saying Israel done done it, all type of stuff, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Just said this on Fox and Friends. I'll read the quote. I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens, the president adds. Right. He goes on to say that a tip stemmed from a minister, Trump says he believes, who passed the tip to a friend who was a U.S. Marshal.
Is that right?
And then they involved the father of the suspect.
A U.S. Marshal.
Don't have an identity yet. We don't have who was a U.S. Marshal. And then they involved the father of the suspect. We don't have an identity yet. We don't have a name of this suspect. President Trump himself saying that he learned of it just a few moments before he stepped on set. This is all taking place in the last couple minutes. As you might imagine, this is a very fluid situation. Seems like the president himself was just briefed on this. There were some details he acknowledged he did not know. But to recap the breaking news, of course, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative political commentator, and
the usual suspect,
organizer, shot in broad daylight on a college campus in Utah a couple of days ago. Video graphic went around the world very quickly. There's been an intensive manhunt for this suspect here. You're seeing the individual on your screen. These are images released by the police yesterday as they they're imploring the public to come forward with help. Come forward with tips.
This don't look like the dude that I seen jumping off the building, though. The dude jumping off the building, they gonna show it all the way at the end. The dude jumping off the building was in all black. This dude got jeans and a hat on, bro. And it seemed like he had a ski mask on. Listen, that's just the camera quality.
With other information about this person. So now we're going to hear...
Of course he has an American fucking flag on his shirt.
I believe we're going to hear now what President Trump said just a few...
That's what I'm saying. That might be a different... Because when he jumped off that building...
Moments ago.
That. Let's see what he's saying.
Come forward with tips, with other information about this person. So now we're going to hear... I believe we're going to hear now what President Trump said just a few moments ago.
I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. We started off with a clip that made him look like an ant. That was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And
so it's plenty of surveillance. That ain't the only clip, nigga.
So much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing actually when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President,
he's in custody.
I don't know if America's in great shape. I think this I think Charlie Kirk was a plant in general, and this is a Trump sacrifice. But I don't think everything's just okay. In America, we got terrorists, we got internal terrorist threats upon our own people. That's not good. It's not even other countries. It's the white Americans, the usual suspects.
That was President Trump just a few moments ago on
This ain't
Fox
even
and
a goddamn. This is not even an illegal immigrant, a black. This ain't nothing. Come on now.
He's here in New York City, appearing in studio just across the street, saying with a high degree of certainty, quoting him, that they have.
You can't say he's a bumblebee, a Optimus Prime.
The suspect in custody, but we don't know who this person is. We believe at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so about 45 minutes from now, authorities in Utah will hold a news conference. Let's bring in now MSNBC investigative correspondent Mark Santilla. Mark, thank you for rushing back to set. This is obviously a breaking story. Just a few moments ago, the president said this. Is there anything else we've learned as to what happened?
No, right now, I mean, this is a major development. For the president to say, quote, "We have him. He's in custody." Obviously, major development. We're working the phones right now, along with my colleague Tom Winter, Jonathan Dienst, reaching out. We know, as you said, Jonathan, there's a 9 o'clock press conference. We were told about a 9 o'clock press conference in Utah. And then shortly after, the president made these statements. Again, quote, "We have him. He's in custody." President also said talked about the great work that's been done over the last several hours, the last couple of days. At this point, we're just waiting to hear. This is something that is very, very fluid at this time. We knew they were close. We knew they had, Jonathan, 7,000 tips, pieces of digital evidence. They were following several leads. So we knew,
bro, you ain't getting far.
Just talking to law enforcement sources.
You ain't getting far in this world, bro, these days.
Sources familiar with this investigation, we knew they were on it. We knew they were tracking down several leads. And
the fact that
you just heard from the president, he said, again, quote, "We have him."
For how long he did, you know what I'm saying? He was able to get up out of there and move. So he ain't even leave the state, apparently.
I'm following along with the president's appearance. He says he hopes the suspect gets the death penalty. Obviously, you need a trial and a conviction before that. He's moved on to other topics right now, including the nickname of the Washington Commanders football team, but we'll bring it to you if he says anything else. But to recap, just a few moments ago, President Trump, in a media appearance, said that a suspect in custody, no identity yet, certainly no sense of motive.
Nicholas Coleman, appreciate the sub.
But it appears, Ken Delanian is joining us now, MSNBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent. So Ken, I'll come to you with this. It appears that the decision by the law enforcement in Utah to go public with these images has paid off. We carried that news conference live on our air yesterday. About 24 hours ago, the FBI in Utah said they weren't going to do that just yet, that they didn't think they needed to take that step. Well, they developed better images. We're seeing them here. They released them. They put out some video of the suspect both arriving.
So you mean to tell me, y'all, this is the only screenshot you have of him walking up them stairs where his head is turned like this? So you mean to tell me he knew the camera was there, just kept his head looking down? Maybe that's a chance, but you mean to tell me he didn't? There's no clear shot. I know does he even have sunglasses on? He might not even have sunglasses on.
And then fleeing.
But you don't know who the nigga is.
Shooting. And now
nigga ain't got no sunglasses on.
These fairly high resolution images in the stairwell captured, I believe, by a campus security
high
camera.
Resolution.
These perhaps
campus
is
security.
What helped. Ken, what more do we know?
Yeah, we're just working the phones, as Mark said, right now, trying to understand what the president is saying. The images may have helped, Jonathan, or it could have been something entirely different. For example, the suspect could have decided to confess or turn himself in. We just don't know at this moment. Last night, it really appeared that they were stymied. I mean, they waited for hours to hold a news conference, and then when they did, they said very little and essentially started reciting how many interviews they had done and how many teams were working on the case, which when law enforcement starts talking about that, you kind of suggest they really don't have very much. And the head of Utah's public safety told NBC's Morgan Chesky last night that they had no idea who this person is or where this person was last night. Could have been hundreds of miles away from Utah, could have been close. They had no idea. So it really suggests that something dramatic happened overnight. It's possible someone identified this person from the photos, although the photos, the resolution on the face was not terrific. Obviously not good enough for the FBI to make a facial recognition
So
match.
he do have sunglasses on. So walking up that staircase, it was no clear shot.
Because again, very clear last night. They did not know. They did not have an identity of this.
Unless this dude took a mask off, there's a chance he could have changed or whatever. You know. We gonna
so
get
it
they gonna
does
show
look
that
like
clip at the
something
end.
dramatic has happened,
Well,
Jonathan.
according to the president, what that dramatic moment was, and we don't quite have the chronology, but he is saying that a minister, apparently, didn't identify who the minister is or where the minister lives, but a minister recognized the shooter, went to an acquaintance, a friend of his who's a member of law enforcement. At that point, the suspect's family was also involved. The president said that the minister spoke to the suspect's father, perhaps, and that led to him being taken into custody. But again, we should note again, Mark, the president said that he was just briefed on this development a few moments ago.
So the minister was close with the family. The family, you just said the family has something to do, huh? What? Hold on.
Enforcement. At that point, the the suspect's family was also involved. The president said that the minister, he is the president, what that dramatic moment was, and we don't quite have the chronology, but he is saying that a minister, apparently, didn't identify who the minister is or where the minister lives, but a minister recognized the shooter, went to an acquaintance, a friend of his who's a member of law enforcement.
So the minister went to an acquaintance. The acquaintance had a friend of law enforcement.
At that point, the suspect's family was also involved. The president said that the minister...
The suspect's family was involved? At that point. Just at that point, they just got involved somehow, huh? Is that right?
Spoke to the suspect's father, perhaps, and that led to him being taken into custody. But again, that's...
How your dad gonna know you shot the... Well, I mean... Oh, okay, so they came out with the pictures. And then what he told... Y'all turning your kid in like that? Shit, that's on you, little bro. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't gonna say, hey, that's my son. I'm not gonna say, bro, I'm not gonna say, hey, that's my son. But you got it. Don't come back around here, you know what I'm saying? You gonna get me caught up, you know what I'm saying?
We should note again, Mark, the president said that he was just briefed on this development a few moments ago, like right before he went on camera. So he has also acknowledged he does not have the complete...
So let me get it right. They came out with the photos.
And we don't quite have the chronology, but he is saying that a minister... dramatic moment was, and we don't quite have the chronology, but he is saying that a minister, apparently, didn't identify who the minister is or where the minister lives, but a minister recognized the shooter, went to an acquaintance, a friend of his who's a member of law enforcement. At that point, the suspect's family was also involved. The president said that the minister spoke to the suspect's father, perhaps, and that led to him being taken into custody. But again, we should note again, Mark, the president said that he was just briefed on this development a few moments ago, like right before he went on camera. So he has also acknowledged he does not have the complete story here as to what went. And we should also note of caution that twice before, in this very shooting, the police detained someone they thought was a person of interest, even a potential suspect, one of whom the FBI director, Kash Patel, took to social media and said, "We've got our guy," only an hour or two later to say, well, he wasn't our guy. So these things are fluid. But if the President of the United States is saying it, you'd have to think they have some degree of certainty that at minimum, this is someone that they really want to talk to.
I think you're absolutely right. The president saying, coupled with in 40 minutes, there's going to be a press conference in Utah. There is obviously something imminent. This is breaking. And as you said, fluid. But I think what's interesting, Jonathan, is you had those stills. Ken was talking about the stills that were released. You had the direct sort of still photographs of the suspect's face. And then last night, there was a push to get out the clothing. The police commissioner talking specifically about the Converse shoes, the sweatshirt with the American
They did have a picture. It's a lot more blurrier, though, than when he's closer.
The police commissioner talking specifically about the Converse shoes, the sweatshirt with the American flag and the eagle. And they were reaching out to the public. I mean, if you know
they look suspicious.
This person, there's a good chance you might
that's
recognize him. But then when you couple that photo of the face with the Converse shoes or some of the clothes, it might ring a bell. And we've seen in several different investigations, people close, people
when I see this
and speaking.
Okay, I could kind of see the Converse being
out. If they recognize someone, again, the president saying, we have him, he's in custody. And as you said,
so there's somebody over here. Are they running?
Someone, again, the president saying, people stepping up and speaking out. If they recognize,
so they didn't hear. It's two people just casually walking. They ain't running or nothing. So they didn't hear no gunshot come off the top of that building. They don't hear all them people screaming just 200 yards away. Chilling.
Shoes or some of the clothes,
Look,
it might ring a
bell.
And we've seen in several different investigations,
they are not. They just walk past
people
each other.
Stepping up and speaking out. If they recognize someone, again, the president saying,
man is
we
jumping
have him,
off the building.
He's in custody. And as you said, someone who knew him, according to the president, turned him in.
Now, this president, not always the most reliable narrator, but again, you'd think that he would, be certain of this development before going public with it. We should also recap some of the other evidence they had found. The right development before going public with it. We should also recap. President.
I can't really tell if he got a hat on.
But again, you'd think
that
he would, be certain of this development before going public with it. We should also recap some of the other evidence they had found. The rifle, the bolt-action rifle, was discovered. A palm print was found, and then and Mark, staying with you, we said the video of the this individual, the believed suspect, both arriving and then fleeing. We saw that earlier in our show, jumping off the roof, landing pretty hard, I'd have to say, about 10, 15 feet down, and then making his way through the woods and then a neighborhood, and then they lose sight.
They didn't come out with the video of him getting there and all that yet?
Yeah, that landing, as you said, that sort of hard landing, police and federal agents say they had a shoe impression, a footwear impression there.
You can see it
hitting the ground, right?
He's about to jump.
Scales that. You have that palm print, according to police. There's a forearm print, and then finally makes that leap downward. And police say they have a shoe wear impression there. They'll be analyzing that as well. Then runs into the wooded area where police say they recovered a weapon, that bolt-action rifle. Talking to where police impression there. They'll be analyzing that as well. Then runs into the wooded area where police say they recovered a weapon, that bolt-action rifle. Talking to retired ATF agents, they say it's a high-powered rifle that's being
where at here is he carrying it though?
Cartridges, including spent rounds that were found. ATF will tell you, bullets can tell a story, Jonathan. The casing that holds the bullet can tell a story. The actual gun can tell a story. They're reviewing that, looking at prints. You have multiple facets of this investigation in sort of moving right now. It's very, very fluid. Obviously, it's stepped up, it's ramped up based on what the president has said just moments ago.
And Charlie Kirk, of course, a close ally of the president, really, really a dear friend to the president's children, Donald Trump Jr. in particular. He was a close ally of Vice President J.D. Vance. In fact, Vance flew to Utah yesterday on Air Force Two and then took Kirk's body, his casket, on the Air Force Two, the government vice presidential plane.
So them people didn't hear no shot, no screaming, no. They probably made a chance they
flying from Utah back to his home in Arizona ahead of
Where at is he? If he had a boat, how he? What that bitch? Would he break it down and put it back together?
Funeral services in the days ahead. So
ain't no way that's fitting in a backpack though. A bolt let's just Google a bolt action rifle, my nigga.
Yeah, they broke out in a big
how whenever you search that, I thought I didn't even search nothing. You can't break that type of shit down, bro. You can't break that down, bro. And he went and threw it in the woods. Where at in that video is he carrying a blick, though? I mean, this ain't a blick, this a rifle, but you know what I'm saying. You can't just break these down like that. Not one of them wood ones. You can't break this shit down, bro. You can't break that down, bro. You might can break something like this down. You know? You might can break something like, man, them probably is like, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling, bro. Shot him, had enough time to break it down, then ran. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This is a wild situation, bro. It's always the usual suspects. You know what I'm saying? If the minister, they came out with these photos, you know what I'm saying? If the family then told on them, then this could possibly, you know, really be him. They really got him this time. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, bro. Another white American does this to the politicians, bro. What the fuck does that actually tell you about America, though? Like, in the people. Whites versus blacks. Black people ain't doing this shit to fucking politicians. Politicians and these motherfuckers done all this shit. Legal slavery was legal, all this, that, and the third. Not once has a black person came out and assassinated nobody, bro. Not a single president. Not a single politician. Now, there might be one instance, you know, but who's the usual suspect? Not one school shooting. Like, come on now. Come on now. Yeah, let me know what y'all think. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP tonight.
This shit is in me, it ain't on me, you can't scrub it off. I've been riding by my lonely on that paper walk. And why you call your homies cause they bound to talk. Yeah, I've been focused on my chicken.